Variety Boxing with Frank Warren and Queensbury Promotions. We popped down to Petersfield, which is the new and temporary home of Baton Box, joined by Josh Frankham. New surroundings then, Josh?
New gym, temporary gym. It's doing us a favour at the minute. It's a good little gym. What do you think?
No, it's decent. And with you being a...
I'd like to thank Saffron, by the way. Saffron for letting us use his gym, otherwise we would have been...
You being a Surrey boy, it's a little bit more convenient for you, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit easier. Not too far, half an hour away, so that's alright. Need to get back to Southampton now.
Now then, I mean, the updates for you are a little bit few and far between because you've had your two fights so far. We've spoken after both of them, so the obvious question is, what's next?
Hopefully, I think it's going to be May. Hopefully, don't know when. Just waiting on a date. But our training starts next week, so hopefully have a good camp and look forward to May.
So we understand early May, and it's weird to sort of to say to you, because you're only 2 fights in, to say what do you want? Would you want to step up? Blah blah blah. Is it just more of the same at the moment?
Just take me time. I've had 2 good learning fights, 2 decent opponents. So another one of them would do. Just take me time, fight by fight.
Yeah. I was going to say to you, your third fight. Is there anything in particular, but you want to tidy up on or try out? You know, what have you identified from the first 2 fights, but you weren't happy with?
There's always room for improvements. You know what I mean? So every fight I want to improve, and the next one I'd like to try and get him out of there. But obviously we don't look for that. If it can happen, it happens. But,
does that bother you?
Pardon?
Does that bother you getting them out of there or not?
Not really. Not really. It's all a learning curve. The more rounds I can get under my belt, the better. At the minute, I'm sure when I step up and people start throwing back, I'll start knocking them out.
Sometimes those stoppages can be a bit misleading and can sort of lull you into a place where you think you are and you might not be.
Yeah.
I mean, to get 4 rounds is much more valuable than a 30-second blowout, I guess.
Well, the first fight I had with Kevin Corley was a really good learning fight. I learned a lot from that, to be honest with you. And going into the second fight, I was more comfortable. I bossed it a little bit more. So yeah, just good learning fights. That's all I need. Good learning fights. Plenty of rounds under me belt.
So if I think about something we were talking about earlier, I think he's your second cousin, is he, Charles Frankham?
Charles, yeah.
Now then, he had a fight. It might have even been his last fight, where he threw a shot and it didn't appear to land, and the fella just went down after about 30 seconds, and it was a knockout. What would he have got out of that?
Probably not a lot, but it happens sometimes. So you just have to go with it. It happens.
Now, I know I do this to you every time.
Go on.
But we are getting close to Fury Joshua, by the sounds of it. Are you going to elaborate on that fight for me? I mean, I know who you say is going to win.
You should know my opinion already.
I know who you say is going to win, but technically, everything else wise, how does it go?
I thought AJ looked alright the last fight, to be honest with you. He done alright. What do you think? He looked alright.
He took him out in the end, didn't he?
He looked alright. He looked
a bit more aggressive
than
he was against Ruiz.
He looked very uncomfortable. That's not AJ, is it? Running and boxing, you know what I mean? That's not AJ. But he'll get found out in the next fight.
Do we get the Tyson, the elusive, slippery, slip and slide in Tyson, or do we get the Tyson who jumped on the front foot and put it on Deontay Wilder?
I don't think it matters which one you get, because I think both ways I think it's going to end up both. Whatever style he brings to the table, the fight's going to end up the same way. I think anyway, personally.
Stoppage or points?
I think he's stopping. 6-7 rounds.
Do you think he might just completely flummox him mentally and physically, just sort of
definitely
completely have his head fried before he even gets in there?
Yeah, most definitely. AJ will not know what's going on. He'll try and have a bit of banter back and forth, but he will not know what's hitting. Definitely not. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, I think it's going to be abroad. To be honest with you, I don't think it's going to be. At this minute in time, I don't think we won't have the fans back in time. So I think it'll be abroad, but hopefully we can travel out there. That's all I'm hoping.
If you think about the second Wilder fight, Tyson took his time, didn't he, and didn't really say much.
Yep.
And then you thought to yourself, he's up to something here. Yep. And then he just got into his head right late on, didn't he?
Yeah.
It was always going to happen, wasn't it?
Always going to happen, and he got under it. He really got under Wilder's skin last time. You could see that. So yeah, AJ got no chance. No chance.
As a young fighter, how do you look at that mental aspect of it? You know, part of victory getting under someone's skin? I know it doesn't apply to your fights yet.
No.
But is it something you considered further down the line of developing that side of your personality?
Of course it can, because it can beat someone, you know, who's weak-minded. It can beat them before they even get in the ring. Obviously, you still have to back it up. You still have to be able to fight. It's no good having all that game plan, and all that talk if you can't fight. But
have you considered becoming outspoken further down the line?
of course, you've got to have something about you. You've got to have a little bit of something about you. But
Does that come naturally to you?
I suppose it will do. At the minute, I'm just focused on getting to that stage at the minute. But look, perfect example. Look what happened to Klitschko. He got under his skin. No one's ever done that. You know what I mean? He done it to him, so it does work. But you still have to be able to fight as well.
I mean, you big dosser is now just legendary terminology.
Legendary, isn't it? I think I've got a T-shirt of it somewhere. You big dosser. Who would have thought that?
Yeah.
You would never have thought that would have been a catchphrase, you know?
Now, you did mention to me also before, but you're considering a little trip to the States in May.
Yep.
For Billy Joe.
Yep.
Tell me about that fight. Do you give him a good opportunity?
Definitely. Yeah, I think he's the only guy out there who you can give at the minute. I'd love to see him win. Hopefully he can win. It's the hardest task in the world at the minute, Canelo. He's on top. But if there's anyone who's going to do it, it's going to be Billy Joe. So we should all get behind him, the whole country, and cheer him on. And hopefully he brings back them belts.
Yeah, I mean, I think people who have watched him throughout his career will always wish him well and see the strengths he has got. But maybe what we can't see is him stopping Canelo, because he's not really done that for quite some time.
No.
And then we wonder, you know, do you get decisions against Canelo in America? And that's probably what concerns most people.
Like I just said, it's the hardest task in the world at the minute, not because of how good Canelo is. Billy Joe will be going into that fight probably 3 rounds down, and he knows that. So he has it all against him, but like I said, if there's anyone who can do it, it's Billy Joe. And
talking of what we mentioned before with Tyson, you can see Billy Joe putting it on him before the fight, can't you?
I can, but a man like Canelo, I don't think it'll phase him. Like who said it? I mean, I think it was Ben.
Annoy him, couldn't it?
It might a little bit, might get under his skin a little bit. No one's ever really tried it. I don't think I've ever seen it.
It's always been very polite.
So there you go. But like the sort of man you see Canelo, I think it was Ben Davison who said it. He hasn't even slagged Billy Joe once. You know what I mean? He said, yeah, he's a good fighter. He's this, he's that, and he's classy, Canelo. You know what I mean? So I don't think. I think he just look at it and just ignore him. But hopefully it gets under his skin and Billy Joe gets to him.
While we've got you on, we're going to get you to introduce your nephew. Because your dad said you want to get him on. He's apparently going to be a future champion. He's 12 years old. Just started up 4-0. Come and sit on his knee. Introduce him.
Son.
Jump in there.
This is young Dave.
There you go.
Young Dave.
Tell us a little bit about him.
He's 4-0. He's had a few good fights in a minute. He's got a good pedigree. His dad was a good fighter. Obviously, all of our family were good fighters. So hopefully he'll definitely win the schoolboys anyway. When these amateurs get back, I'm putting a lot of money on him.
Now, 6 years until you're 18. Are you the sort of boy that's dreaming about being a professional, or have you got Olympics on your mind?
I don't know, I reckon straight to the professionals.
Straight to the professionals.
Straight to the pros.
No mucking about with them amateurs.
So we don't know when your next fight is yet, I guess, do you?
No, I think it could be starting back in April.
April.
Hopefully April, but with the amateurs, it's a shame at the minute. A lot of the young fighters are missing out.
It's hard for them, isn't it? It's brutal.
It's hard.
Yeah. All right. Well, good luck with everything, and hopefully, like you say, you get to fight soon. Josh, good luck to you for early May, and we'll catch you in a bit.
Thank you very much.
Guys.